because negotiations to end the war in Iran are going great, according to you-know-who. Everything is great, it's cool, we're friends, we're tight. Even though Iran is saying, we're not talking to anybody in your administration. Who are you talking to, sir? But he's excited about negotiating a deal with somebody. And his defense secretary explained his role in all of this as well. Take a look.
They're going to make a deal. They did something yesterday that was amazing, actually. They gave us a present, and the present arrived today. And it was a very big present worth a tremendous amount of money. And I'm not going to tell you what that present is, but it was a very significant prize. And they gave it to us, and they said they were going to give it. So that meant one thing to me: we're dealing with the right people.
We see ourselves as part of this negotiation as well. We negotiate with bombs. You have a choice as we loiter over the top of Tehran, as the president talked about your future. The president has made it clear that you will not have a nuclear weapon. The War Department agrees. Our job is to ensure that. And so we're keeping our hand on that throttle as long as hard as is necessary.
Oh, excuse me. Keep our hand on that throttle as long as it's hard. Look at the shot of what's his face? Trump. Trump. When he said that, we're keeping our hand on the throttle as long as it's hard. What is going on over there?
Of course Joy picked that part up.
Yes, I did.
Does anyone else feel like we're in an episode of The Apprentice? It's like I've got this big, beautiful, like my head spins every day. Yeah. I'm not sure what's gonna happen next. It's like I've got this big, beautiful deal. I'm not gonna tell you, but if you tune into next week's episode, I might share a tidbit. Which, like, I don't wanna take away from what our men and women have been doing over there, because what they've accomplished is incredible. And if we can deter Iran at all, whether it's 2 years
over there, explain to me.
Our military? Well, I think we've got the best military in the world. I think they do what they're told.
No,
we can,
what have they accomplished so far in Iran?
What have they accomplished?
In
Well, I think any time we can deter Iran, whether it's for another year, whether it's for 10
Obama
years,
had a deal
I think that's a win
them,
for this country.
Obama had a deal, and he threw it up.
Yeah.
Trump. He did.
Yeah.
Here's,
I mean, it just seems to me.
And what's the gift besides herpes?
Sorry. No, it just.
No, I think it's look. I think it's really easy to sit here and say, what has our military accomplished? It's because of our military that we're able to sit here and have these conversations and do a show like this. So whenever our military is out there fighting for our freedom.
Don't make it sound like I'm against the military. I'm not. All my uncles, my father, they all fought. So don't make it sound like that. I'm talking about this particular, as he calls it, excursion into Iran. What have they accomplished?
We don't know what the intelligence he got was. That's the problem. They haven't communicated that. What I do know.
The word intelligence and him in the same sentence should not go together.
Joy, what about wiping out their entire leadership?
What, they got rid of one Ayatollah, they have another one who's just as bad.
We don't know where that one is.
Well, he's actually more far
We don't
right
know
because
where that
it's
one
his,
is.
his son who lost his wife, his niece, his son.
Anytime you can knock out the Ayatollah, but a country that's trying to develop nuclear weapons,
but there's no regime change because the man who's dead, his son, who's more far right, is now in charge.
Right.
So I don't know what they've accomplished, to your question, Joy, but I do know that there's such a lack of transparency coming from the administration and coming from the Secretary of War or Defense or whatever you want to call it, that is concerning for me. I don't know that many people are talking about it, but in December, the Pentagon basically took the credentials away from organizations like the New York Times unless they abided by certain rules. So the New York Times took this administration to court in December, won last week, and instead of allowing access again so that we as Americans, our taxpayer dollars are paying for this war, our men and women are going and fighting this war, our citizenry, they then decide that they're going to kick everybody out of the press offices, get rid of the press offices and send them off-site, including all the MAGA reporters that they put in. And so now the New York Times is back in court trying to get access so that we, the American people, actually know what's going on in our country.
I know what they accomplished. Wait a second. I know what they have accomplished. They have taken the Epstein files off of the front page. That is what they have accomplished.
Very well be.
What?
We all agree. The military is the best of us. Trump likes to say he's made the best military. They were great before him. They'll be great after him.
I don't know that
I agree with you.
Hegseth is the best of us.
And by the way, when you were asking me 20 times yesterday if I think he's qualified or
I may have asked you 25.
25 times. Whether it doesn't move the needle. That's why I was focusing on the job he's doing. The bombing's got to stop. That language is weird. I said this yesterday. This is not a game. I want our troops home more than anybody else.
It's not a
get out of
game,
there.
but I
with a
wish they'd
bomb.
stop speaking of it like that. With Hegseth's hand on the throttle and stuff, and the way they use video game memes to recruit people for the military. And when you treat it like a game where you die and we just start again, like I could see how you maybe handle decisions slightly different. And I would hope there was a seriousness in deploying our troops over there. But what I will say is, regardless of what Iran is saying about whether the president's spoken to them or not, I don't trust the feedback of President Trump. I really don't trust Iran either, because the kind of regimes over there, they send out propaganda, they manipulate numbers of what's happening.
Like we've been doing.
Yeah.
Well, you exaggerate
Kind of.
success while hiding the failure. You know, so
Yeah.
I actually don't have a lot of faith. It makes me nervous right now that now we have troops on the ground. Because when it was first this
Right.
campaign and you thought, okay, let's see what happens, it's the exit plan
And that's why we need the media there to tell us what the heck is
course.
going
Well, Iran,
on.
you
We
also
need
have to
to know
remember,
that.
Iran has leverage. So when Trump says this deal is done, you know what they have? They have patience, something the president does not have. They know the president has the midterms coming up. They know that he's concerned about oil. They can shoot a missile and hit a tanker in Hormuz immediately. And they know that they have control over that.
In the decision Trump made, it was supposed to be kind of strangling the oil from Iran and Russia. He had to lift those sanctions, which gave them billions
Listen,
in money
at this
for
point,
this step.
At this point, I want them to stop what they're doing. They are sending people in to die. They are sending people in to die. And I'm surprised because Hegseth served.
Yes, he did.
He served. He should know.
That's what I said
what
yesterday. He should know better
what
than anybody.
Yes, better than anybody. And yet, when you listen to, stop looking so angry. He should know more than anybody what it takes to be a soldier in our army. What it means when you send people in. When you send them in with a plan, it's horrific. You send them in without a plan, willy-nilly, and you not explaining what's going on.
Correct.
Fathers, sons, mothers, daughters, sisters, brothers. These are all
deserve
our
better.
American citizens who are being asked to do this. And because of the way the military is, they will do what they're asked to do.
So, Whoopi, that's what I was trying to say.
You know?
Just to clarify,
Yeah.
we have the best military. They're doing what they're told.
They're
and that's
doing
why
what they're
I say
told,
they are
and
the best
that's why
of us.
nobody's angry
Yes,
with them.
yes.
That's why
Yes,
we are.
it's not their fault.
No, it's not their fault. They're doing what they're supposed to
Yeah.
do. But
Yeah.
damn it, you know, I would rather this was in the hands of people who actually cared about them enough to
knew what
say,
they
I'm
were
going to
doing."
do everything I can for you not to be in a place where you could be killed. But we'll be right back.